Sit by the window.
This cafe, I forget the name. So the cafe is, they had very nice coffee, latte, and nice desserts. That's one thing about Tallinn. The food is amazing. So this is down below, and this is just some illustrations how they kept their animals and the typical supper, I guess, a feast. What would be involved, you know? Everybody had a particular job to do in order to make it all run efficient. I don't know if that spider is the actual size, because if it is, wow. You could ride it as a horse.
Oh, if I never sees another stick in my life. Way too fucking early.
Yeah, I will admit, you got to be prepared to walk a lot of steps. Not only just this location, but all over Tallinn, if you want to see the sights. These are those hoofs. They were drinking vessels.
Bigger construction projects were halted by the outbreak of the Great Northern War, and soon the victorious Russian Tsar Peter I arrived with his army. The Swedish came in the defense of the city, so that several of the towers were turned into prisons or warehouses, while some chests remained unoccupied or were even demolished altogether. The same fate also awaited many of the fortified gatehouses. Due to the rapid development of weaponry, even the mighty bastions soon became militarily useless, and soon the passageways under the bastions were also forgotten. On top of the bastions themselves, parks were laid out, where the city residents loved to spend time and promenade. In the mayor's office, it was thought that the city wall should be completely demolished, since it blocks the view and obstructs traffic.
Yeah, I call it the catacombs, but the bastions.
This is a little cooler. Alright. Some more steps, my favorite. Who are you? So we're
The Bastion.
the Bastion.
So now we are down now under the city, and they tried to give you the sounds and stuff and the lighting, so it's some areas don't come out very well on camera and the pictures either, but it was very interesting. There's a section they call the City of Ruins. They have uncovered a whole lot of stuff, artifacts, but during the war, people would be down here under the protection of all the rock and everything above them. You can just imagine how cramped this would be. If you're going to be in these places, you got to be a little silly sometimes, right? Again, it's one of these things, like I said, you have to be there to fully appreciate it. No matter how good a video or pictures or anything that you take, it just don't seem to do it justice. I bet that sound was myself quite the crack on the noggin. Not that there's anything in there to worry about, but yeah, well. So we did have a good time there. The Bastion's tunnels below Tallinn. It is a part of Kiek fortifications there, and they were built in 17th and 18th centuries. And bastions were first built in Italy. That's what they told us. And in many places they replaced traditional castles, which I didn't know. Castle walls apparently were very vulnerable to cannon fire, so they decided that if you went underground, then you had a better chance of survival. But they did start building the tunnels in around, I think they said 1710. But no, before it was before that. But the War of 1710 broke out. Like some say it's the Great Northern War, and Russia was able to conquer the city, and the construction stopped. So yeah, if you're looking for Kiek and you want to go on this tour as well, it's located on Toompea Hill. It's very close to Freedom Square. So yeah. Yeah, the construction began in 1686. Now, when we comes up on, you'll see a lot of artifacts and stuff like that. That's from the tunnels that were flooded for over 100 years. I don't know if they were forgotten about or whatever, but they were flooded for over 100 years, and more recently the city sent divers in, and they came back saying that there's a lot of artifacts like what you're seeing here. So yeah, pretty interesting. So guys, I'm going to leave you here now. I think you've heard me talk enough, but it was very interesting, and you comes out of here up through what they call a secret door, and you're up into the streets of Tallinn. If you're ever in the neighborhood, or if you've been thinking about going to Europe or wondering about any places that you might want to see, there's a lot of places probably more interesting, but to me, this was a very nice place, because sometimes it's not just about, entertainment. Sometimes it's about how it makes you feel, and this place, Tallinn, really was relaxing and very low pace and very enjoyable. Anyway, folks, if you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button. You could find anything on this channel, from slipper review to small engine to travel. And hopefully see you on the next one. Take care.